Today on the show, we have a very special guest speaker here with us. Some of y'all may know him as the recipient of the Reebok Human Rights Award back in 1988, or perhaps the Amnesty International Peace Prize Award, or maybe even as he was featured in the Emmy-nominated documentary, The Flute Player. Give it up for Arnshorn Pond.
Thank you, Jessica.
Now tell me, you are a peaceful human rights activist committed to preserving traditional Cambodian music, right?
Yes, I am. It's important to me that Cambodia does not lose its culture that was so dominant before Pol Pot time.
Fascinating. Well, we are honored to have you on the show with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Would you mind sharing your incredible story with us? I'm sure the audience and Miss Milton would love that.
I shall share my story with you, Jessica. I was born in Batam Ban, Cambodia in 1966. The family I was born into was one of musicians and performers. We lived a good life until 1975 when Khmer Rouge soldiers separated my family and I. I was then sent to a children's labor camp. They made us wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and pushed us to work until midnight. If they didn't work, they would kill us. They even made some kids kill their own parents. At least I didn't have to do that. I eventually found out they killed most of my family because they were artists. They would have killed me too if they found out that I was from a family that owned an opera company. The Khmer Rouge wanted a musical group, and I volunteered. I was taught by a traditional arts master how to play the kim, which is similar to a flute. They killed him 5 days after teaching me. I played propaganda music at massive executions, and I entertained the guards. I was given special treatment. They even gave me a music teacher that I'd become very close with, but I was lucky they liked me.
How did you handle being around all this death and despair?
Well, I was in a temple where they killed 3 or 4 times a day. They told us to watch and not to show any emotion at all. They would kill us if we reacted, if we cried, or showed that we cared about the victims. They would kill you right away, so I had to shut it all off. I can shut off everything in my body, practically and physically. I saw them killing people right in front of me. The blood was there, but I didn't smell it. I made myself numb. The killing was unbearable. You'd go crazy if you smelled the blood. A couple years later, in 1979, Vietnamese troops invaded Cambodia. The Khmer Rouge gave us guns and pushed us to the front line. If you refused, you were shot in the head. Out in the battlefield, I see friends, close friends of mine, dropping here and there. I see people being shot by Khmer Rouge soldiers if you try to escape. It was so overwhelming. The next thing I did was run. I ran for my life into the jungle and wandered about for months. I finally came upon an American refugee camp in Thailand. I befriended Peter Pond, a Lutheran minister and an aid worker, and it was then in 1980 that I was adopted by him and joined him in living back in the U.S.
I mean, this must have been a big change for you. Going to high school must have been tough.
It was. I was scared. I remember the noise in the hallways, and my mind was blank. I only remembered a few phrases from the refugee camp, like rice or bathroom, you know? I felt very alone. Time went by, I became better at English, I joined soccer, and the day came that I talked about my time in Cambodia for the first time. In 1982, I remember I spoke the words from the heart at John Divine Church. I said, "My name is Arn. My family was killed in Cambodia." A few words. Then there was this little girl with blonde hair coming, and she hugged me. She hugged me very tight. She was about 10, which was about my age when I was in Cambodia. She looked at me in the eye and said, "Arn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry what happened to you. I don't wish anything like that to happen to anybody." She gave me $1, said, "Here, $1. Maybe you can help other children." I never forgot it because it made me feel very good. I think to myself that if I speak about it, there's somebody who cares. I hope that my words move people and make a difference in the world.
Wow, you are very inspirational. I understand that you returned back to Cambodia in 1998. After all these years, what is it that you did there? What were you trying to do?
I returned back to Cambodia to seek out any master musicians who survived the genocide. We would teach music classes for the people. During that time, I founded the Cambodian Living Arts Organization. We work in collaboration with others to create an environment where Cambodia arts empower and transform individuals and communities. We believe that through creativity, we can expand our potential as human beings.
Wow, you truly are amazing. Well, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thank you. Bloopers.
Pond.
Thank you, Jessica. She hugged me very tight. She said, I jumped like a couple of. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's unpaused. Gosh. In 1982, I remember I spoke words from my heart at the John Divine. You know, 3 or 4 words. I felt very alone. Time went by. I became better at English. I can't do this.